Last week was a whirlwind of breaking news, from the Boston bombings to the dramatic apprehension of the alleged suspect. But then a disturbing development emerged. The suspect, 19-year-old Jahar Sarnaif, would not be read his Miranda rights as part of the Fifth Amendment's public safety exception. The problem with this is that the exception doesn't actually legally fit the suspect. And for those of you who have no idea what Miranda rights are, they're the rights read to every person who's arrested in the U.S. In the immediate aftermath of the suspect's detention, certain elected officials quickly took to the internet to offer their 2 cents on how to treat the suspect. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said, quote, "The last thing we may want to do is read Boston suspect Miranda rights," telling him to, quote, "remain silent." He then followed up by saying, "If captured, I hope administration will at least consider holding the Boston suspect as enemy combatant for intelligence gathering purposes." But some state representatives took the sentiment even further, calling to actually torture the suspect. New York State Senator Greg Ball wrote, "So, scumbag number 2 in custody. Who wouldn't want to use torture on this punk to save more lives?" I wouldn't, and no one else that actually respects the rule of law and the Constitution, because guess what? Torture is illegal, and it's never brought proper intel. Now, it may not seem like that big of a deal to read a terror suspect his rights, but ponder what Glenn Greenwald has said. He said, quote, "When you cheer for the erosion of Jahar Sarnaif's rights, you're cheering for the erosion of your own," which is what we're already seeing. A mindset that has already allowed these rights to be taken for granted and compromised. 2 years ago, Obama bypassed Congress to roll back Miranda rights for, quote, terrorism suspects, exploiting the already narrow public exception to the law. And in that instant, Obama basically eliminated the Fifth Amendment's guarantee that you won't incriminate yourself during interrogation without knowing your rights. And the fact that all of this is going on with virtually no public outcry signifies just how complacent we've become, whether it be toward the Patriot Act or the NDAA of 2012, or just look at Obama's drone wars, where no due process is given to all of these suspected militants being killed. When you think about it that way, it becomes more apparent that if you're determined guilty in the court of public opinion, then you'll never be presumed innocent in a court of law.